How's it going, rednecks? I'm getting ready to work on Disaster Transport's transmission, but first I need to fill you in on what's going on. This thing got stuck in first gear a while back, so I ended up tearing it out of the truck, tore it all apart, put all new clutches and discs in it, did a Corvette servo, upgraded the drum, did a shift kit, and did a reprogramming kit as well as all the seals. And unfortunately, I put the transmission back in Disaster Transport and it was still stuck in first gear. So I pulled my old transmission out of the shed from Baja Bourbon, put it up under the truck with the valve body from this and the Corvette servo, hoping that it would work. And unfortunately, that one was stuck in first. Then I took the Corvette servo out, put Baja Bourbon's servo back in, still stuck in first. Took the valve body from Disaster Transport that was inside of Baja Bourbon, took that one out, put the Baja Bourbon valve body back in, and it shifted fine. So that tells me one thing. The valve body for Disaster Transport is bad. And I don't know where, I don't know why, I don't know how, but I'm going to flip this thing over. We're going to figure it out because I want this transmission in this truck. So what do you say we get that thing flipped over, pull the valve body out, and see what we can find. So with the valve body out of the transmission, you're probably wondering, how am I going to go about diagnosing this problem? And I'm going to tell you right now, these things are a mystery. So it's going to be pretty hard for you, but for me, I'm in luck. I happen to have the valve body out of my blue Tahoe. I replaced the transmission in that thing probably 3 years ago, and I never got around to putting this valve body back in the used transmission I put in. And what makes this cool is this has a shift kit and reprogramming kit in it as well, and I know that one works. So I'm going to take the two, bring them inside the house, set them side by side, tear them both apart, and see what's different between the two. So well, as you can see, I got both Disaster Transports and my Tahoe valve body completely torn apart, and I'm massively concerned because I didn't only find one issue, I found two. That's right. Now if we come over here and take a look at the Tahoe 1-2 shift solenoid, see that spring right there? If we come over to Disaster Transport, that spring is missing. And luckily, I saved all my parts, found the spring, and we can install that back onto that shift solenoid. The other issue I found is if you look inside of these holes right here, that they are plugged off. Now if we come over to the Tahoe, they're open. Well, if you take a look down inside there, you can see it looks like an M, and then if we come over to Disaster Transports, it looks like a W. And that's because that is installed upside down. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put this all back together, correct both the issues by installing that spring and taking that valve out, flipping it back around, then install it into Baja Bourbon's transmission, which is currently in Disaster Transport.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only a day. We got a party for a life.
All right, Rednecks, it's been a lot of work, but we have the valve body put back in disaster transport, and I got the fluids full, and as you've seen, it drove out under its own power. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack up the rear end, I'm gonna hop in this thing, start it up, run it through the gears, and hopefully we have more than just first. Man, oh man, Rednecks, I am super excited that the transmission is no longer stuck in first. So what are the chances that I take a transmission, rebuild it because it's stuck in first, and then rebuild it in a way that keeps it in first? Pretty unlikely, but leave it to me to get it done. And I'm not done yet. Now I have to pull the transmission back out because that is Baja Bourbon's transmission, and I need to take the valve body, put it back in Disaster Transport's transmission, install that back into the truck, and then take the transmission from that truck and install it into my Gambler. Hopefully you guys learned something from my mistakes and enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and get back to work. What are you doing?